Today we are going to learn how to create a hexatessellation. So we're going to be using GeoGebra, and this software should be located on the left, like if you go to your left corner of your desktop, you find the Windows bar or the Windows button, and so you go into all programs and it should be under the folder named GeoGebra 4.2, and then just go ahead and click on the GeoGebra button, and then GeoGebra should load. So then you go, once you open GeoGebra, the first thing we want to do is eliminate any extra things that are on the screen currently. So just go ahead and click on the X on the algebra tab to remove it, and then we're also going to, for now we'll just eliminate the algebra tab. Then we're going to go into clicking on the actual axis screen, which will be left after you eliminate the algebra tab. So then you're going to right click on that screen and just simply click on axis, and it will take off the axis for you. So then step 4, we're going to begin by creating a hexagon, which is the first step to creating a hexatessellation. So just go ahead and click on the pull down arrow for the polygon tool, which is highlighted in yellow on screen, and then click on regular polygon. Next, just make 2 horizontal points towards the bottom of your screen, therefore that way the hexagon won't run off of the screen and you'll be able to see it clearly. So then just go ahead and create .A and .B, and then after that a pop-up screen should come up, and go ahead and type in the number 6 for the number of vertices in a hexagon, and then click OK. So now that you have your hexagon created, go up to your toolbar and click on the option that has a little ABC on it, and the drop down arrow should have the choice to click on pen. And so we're going to click on the pen tool so that we can make a design, and this design is going to reflect on how your hexatessellation is going to turn out. So then click on pen and draw a random design from point E to point D, or from point D to point E. And this drawing that you're making is essentially going to turn out to be the outside frame of your shape. So it's just whatever you feel like would be a good design to make. You can make it wavy, you can make it zigzag, you can make it how I made it, just a little lump. It doesn't really matter. It just depends on however you want it to look. So then step 8, we're going to then go ahead and click on escape. That way anything that you have highlighted or anything that you have clicked on before is eliminated, and you're simply on your cursor, and click on the rotate around point tool, which is located under the little square that looks like it has 2 dots in the right hand corner and the lower left corner, and a slant in the middle, which has the red box on the outside of it. And then go ahead and click on the rotate object around a point. So next we are going to click on the pen design that you made, and then click on point E, and essentially what this is going to do is it's going to rotate your pen mark across from E to F. That way we can begin creating the basis of this design. So then a pop-up arrow, once you click on the pen tool and on point E, and going back to that, when you see point E, when you're going to click on it, there should be like a little ring around it, a little highlight mark, and once you see the highlight mark, it means you're clicking on it and that's what you're choosing. Make sure that this is around it, or else you're never going to get a click on point E. So having said that, once you click that and you get all of that adjusted, there's going to be a pop-up box, and in that pop-up box, the angle should be a 120-degree angle. And then go ahead and click clockwise and click OK. That way, this rotates 120 degrees clockwise towards the way we want it to be. So your shape should turn out to look like this, and this is again framing the outside of your shape, which will come into shape as soon as you do this. So then step 12 tells us to just repeat the steps and just keep rotating 120 degrees clockwise to each point, and keep doing this until you have strokes all over your shape, and your shape goes to become a regular polygon and is, or not regular, but irregular polygon, and is completely shut all around. So step 13, it's time to decorate your shape, and it's basically the frame as we saw in step 12, but you just bring that to life and it becomes any design. You know, you can make it from anything from an animal to a to just a simple design, a goofy design, a flower, anything you want. I've chosen a bell because this is what I thought my frame looked more like. So again, it's just up to whatever you want. So you just design it with the pen tool, which again, as stated earlier, is under the drop down arrow in your toolbar. So going on to step 14, it's now time to rotate the entire drawing to 240 degrees clockwise around point C, and this is essentially going to create the actual tessellation figure we want and the looks that it is a tessellation. So to begin by doing this, you hit escape, and with your cursor draw a highlight box around the object so that the entire object is around the box. In step 15, now you click the rotate tool again, which is underneath the drop down arrow, which we used earlier, and it should already be on your toolbar, but if it isn't, just go ahead and click the drop down arrow and then choose point C. And so then a dialog box should come up in which you are going to put 240 degrees and then select clockwise and hit OK. So in step 17, your figure should now look like this. It should be completely rotated 240 degrees around point C and should be connected to the original figure. Now we're going to rotate only the original design, and this is so that we don't have any confusion and so our design doesn't get mixed up in any way. So to do this, just hit escape and put a highlight box around the original design, not the one that we just rotated. So you're going to hit the rotate tool again, and this time you're going to select point A, and again a dialog box should pop up, and in this dialog box go ahead and type in 240, excuse me, and then, but this time we're going to go counterclockwise, that way it rotates the other way around, and go ahead and click OK. So your shapes look like this, 3 shapes rotated around 2 different points, point C and point A. So now it's time to turn off the extra lines and the points, just to make this look better and to make the shape not look like hexagons, essentially, so that the hexagons are eliminated. So to do this, go up into the View tab and then hit Algebra, and the Algebra tool should help eliminate any of these things. So then the Algebra tool is going to bring up this sidebar, and the sidebar that we originally eliminated in the beginning of this presentation, we're going to bring it back. That way we can eliminate the other strokes and the other or not the strokes, but the lines and anything that has to do with the hexagon. So you're going to eliminate everything that doesn't say stroke, so the hexagon itself and the points and the segments. So just be sure to deselect everything except the strokes. So now your shape should look something like this, and then to eliminate the points themselves, points F, E, D, and C, simply hover over them, and again you're going to get this highlight circle above them, and just go ahead and right click and it should say show object, and you just click on show object and it should eliminate any of these points. So then to continue with our hexatessellation, we go on to, we're going to put this into Paint. That way in Paint we can design it, customize it, and continue to finish up and wrap up everything. So now we're going to copy the image into Paint. To do this, you simply highlight all over the entire object, and then click on Edit and click on Graphic View to Clipboard. So now you open up Paint, which is always in your Windows desktop area, and then click on the paste option in Paint. So now you're going to, now in Paint, your object should, or your shape should look like this, but be sure to shrink it down, because when it pops up in Paint it's enlarged. Just be sure to, with the corner, the white boxes that you see all around the corners and the edges of this shape, just shrink it down and minimize it. So now step 28 tells us to, in the top left area of Paint, there is like a blue notebook looking thing, and you're just going to click on that drop down menu and go to Properties. And in Properties we're going to change the paper size, because we don't want it overly big, or we just want a simple nice regular sheet of paper to be our hexatessellation. So then we're going to go into Units. We're going to change the units to inches, and the width should be 8.5 while the height should be 11. Go ahead and click OK. So now it's time to customize your drawing, and customizing your drawing, you're simply going to use any colors, any different types of textures, whatever you want to do in Paint, and just go ahead and play around and just figure out how you want your drawing to look. So then once you finish that, go ahead and click the select tool and put a box around your design, and then in the drop down arrow there is, at the bottom you find an option that says transparent selection. Make sure that that is selected before you select it. So actually instead just go in and click the drop down menu under select, click on transparent selection, and then go ahead and make your selection. And then go ahead, when you do this, go be sure to click copy after you select it. That way everything your design is copied. Then go in and paste your copy, and your copy should become identical, and then you just attach that to wherever to the original figure. So you repeat this process until the entire layout and the entire page is filled. To do this, once you're done, at the bottom right corner of your screen there is a little zoom drag bar, and to zoom out, to zoom in, there's that drag bar that is available to you. And now your hexatessellation is complete, and this has been a presentation to how to create hexatessellation. Thank you.